I'm a private investigator. I've got this envelope that says Super Mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois.
Tiffany Henyard in court today over illegal appointments she allegedly made for several positions inside the village, among them.
It's hard to imagine a political career unraveling as spectacularly as that of Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and Thornton Township Supervisor. Once a rising star in her community, she is now at the center of scandals ranging from unpaid rent and eviction drama to allegations of financial mismanagement and public outbursts. What caused this meteoric fall from grace? And is there even a way for Henyard to recover? Let's dive into the chaos and controversy surrounding one of Illinois' most embattled politicians. Picture this: a landlord who once considered herself a friend and supporter of Henyard now finds herself chasing unpaid rent while fearing she might lose her home. That's the reality for Janetta Hull, who rented her 3-bedroom, 2-bath home to Henyard and her boyfriend, Camel Woods, back in 2021. At the time, Henyard was earning nearly $300,000 annually between her roles as Dolton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor, while Woods also held a high-paying township job. With their combined income, Hull had no reason to expect trouble. But fast forward to December 2024, and Hull says the couple hasn't paid rent since August. They owe her $5,000 in back rent and late fees, and that's not even the worst part.
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
Hull claims Henyard pressured her into renting the house in the first place. Initially, Hull had planned to rent the property to another family, but Henyard allegedly intervened, insisting she needed the home. Feeling cornered, Hull agreed. But after the couple fell behind on payments and refused to pay a $200 rent increase tied to rising property taxes, Hull says they stopped paying altogether. To make matters even more frustrating, Hull alleges Henyard and Woods changed the locks and garage code, barring her from accessing her own property. Hull explains she's now had to take legal action, filing an eviction lawsuit in late September. However, attempts by the Cook County sheriffs to serve Henyard at her home and village hall have so far failed. Hull describes the situation as heartbreaking, especially given her past support for Henyard's political campaigns. She says, "At some point, you have to understand that karma is going to catch up to you. Just pay your rent." But Henyard, true to form, is not going quietly. In response to the eviction, she's taken a combative stance, calling the process illegal and vowing to fight back. "I will be suing everybody tomorrow," she declared in a heated outburst caught on camera. "This is illegal." Illegal, okay. These dramatic declarations have become a hallmark of Henyard's leadership style, as she often deflects blame and shifts the narrative when faced with criticism. However, this time it seems the walls are closing in on her, both literally and figuratively.
For months, there is a new legal battle brewing in Dolton between the mayor and some village trustees.
As Regina Waldrop explains, it has a lot to do with 2 meetings held earlier this week.
The timing of this eviction couldn't be worse for Henyard, as it coincides with her political career taking a devastating hit. Just a few weeks ago, she was ousted from her position as Thornton Township Supervisor after losing the Democratic nomination in a rarely used caucus process. The event, which took place in Homewood, Illinois, was nothing short of chaotic. Henyard arrived at the venue in a bold pink pantsuit, brimming with confidence, but the mood quickly soured. She accused her political rival, State Senator Napoleon Harris, of orchestrating a scheme to lock her supporters out of the caucus. According to Henyard, Harris, who also serves as the Thornton Township Democratic committee, restricted access to her backers while allowing his own supporters to pack the venue. "They can't beat me," Henyard fumed before the vote. "If they could beat me, they would have went to the polls."
It now appears if she wants to run for supervisor again, it will have to be as a write-in candidate.
Harris, however, dismissed Henyard's claims, stating that the caucus followed the rules and that the venue had simply reached capacity due to early arrivals. An attorney for Harris explained that the rules of the caucus were made available in advance, a point Henyard disputes. The proceedings lasted just 7 minutes, culminating in a unanimous vote to remove Henyard as the party's nominee for township supervisor. Harris, along with his slate of candidates, secured the nomination, effectively ending Henyard's bid for re-election under the Democratic banner. As the results were announced, the room erupted in cheers, with some attendees even singing the late 60s classic Nana Hey Hey Kiss Him Goodbye. The public dismissal was both symbolic and humiliating, marking a significant turning point in Henyard's career.
The election is not until 2025, yet Tiffany Henyard has officially decided she wants to stay as mayor despite the cloud of controversy surrounding her.
Unsurprisingly, Henyard did not take the loss gracefully. She stormed out of the venue, vowing to sue everyone involved and claiming the process was rigged. "Illegal, Napoleon," she shouted, directing her ire at Harris. Her supporters echoed her sentiment, with one ally calling the caucus a fraud and accusing organizers of voter suppression. Henyard insists the entire event was designed to undermine her, pointing to last-minute rule changes that disqualified her ticket for lacking a certified assessor. But Harris and his legal team maintain that the caucus was conducted fairly and in accordance with Illinois law.
Stories new at 6. Embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is mounting a re-election bid. Henyard made the announcement in a post on her Facebook page.
The fallout from the caucus meeting has only added to Henyard's growing list of problems. Her tenure as mayor and supervisor has been riddled with controversy, from allegations of embezzlement to accusations of lavish spending. Reports have surfaced detailing her use of public funds for first-class flights, luxury dining, and even beauty services. One particularly damning investigation revealed that Henyard spent $43,000 in a single day on Amazon using a Village credit card. What's even more shocking is the extent to which Henyard allegedly used township resources for personal gain. Investigators found that township-owned vehicles were used to shuttle her and her associates to private events, including political fundraisers and shopping trips. Additionally, sources within the township claim that Henyard's office staff was routinely assigned tasks unrelated to government operations, such as planning her personal gatherings and coordinating her appearances. These revelations have only fueled accusations that Henyard treated public resources as her personal piggy bank, leaving many residents calling for a deeper audit into her tenure.
A Cook County court has reversed some of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's decisions. At last night's village board meeting, Henyard announced a 30-day temporary appointments.
These spending habits, combined with her abrasive leadership style, have earned her the nickname the worst mayor in America among critics. Even former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired as a special investigator to examine Dolton's finances, couldn't ignore the staggering numbers. Preliminary findings revealed that Dolton's general fund balance had dropped from over $5 million in 2022 to a deficit of more than $3.5 million by mid-2024. Adding to the chaos is an ongoing FBI investigation into Henyard's administration. Federal subpoenas issued earlier this year requested employment records, personnel files, and financial documents related to village operations, while Henyard herself has not been served. The investigation has already ensnared several of her allies, including a former deputy police chief who was recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. Critics argue that these investigations are long overdue, given the mounting evidence of financial mismanagement and political retaliation under Henyard's leadership.
Well, there is more high drama in the village of Dolton tonight, where embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard is trying to get down to business.
Public opinion has also turned sharply against Henyard, with many residents and social media users expressing outrage over her actions. One commenter summed up the sentiment bluntly: "Stop saying mislead funds. She flat out stole tax dollars and blew it lavishly. That's not mislead funds." Another wrote, "How did she get to this point? A few years ago, she got busted for breaking into cars. She's always been a professional thief. She just more recently added conman to her resume." These harsh critiques reflect a growing frustration among residents who feel betrayed by a leader they once trusted. But despite the overwhelming backlash, Henyard remains defiant. She continues to portray herself as a victim of political sabotage, insisting that her removal from the caucus and the eviction are part of a larger conspiracy to silence her. During a fiery call to action meeting following the caucus, she declared, "I refuse to sit back and be silent against the injustice." She went on to accuse her detractors of hijacking democracy and vowed to fight for her place on the ballot through legal channels. Her supporters, though dwindling, have rallied behind her, with one ally predicting she could still win as a write-in candidate.
Dane Placco. Tiffany Henyard actually has two political jobs on two public payrolls, as mayor of South Suburban Dolton, or as she calls herself.
However, the road ahead looks increasingly uncertain for Henyard. With multiple lawsuits, investigations, and public scandals, her political future hangs in the balance. Even her position as Dolton mayor is at risk, as she faces a tough re-election battle against growing opposition. Residents and trustees alike have expressed a desire for new leadership, citing Henyard's controversial decisions and combative demeanor as reasons for change. So, where does this leave Tiffany Henyard? Is this the end of her political career, or can she stage a comeback against all odds? With ongoing investigations, a looming eviction, and dwindling public support, the odds are stacked against her. But if there's one thing Henyard has proven, it's that she's not one to go down without a fight. Will her defiance pay off? Or will it only deepen the hole she's already in? One thing is certain, her story is far from over, and the next chapter promises to be just as dramatic as the last. What do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard the victim of political sabotage, or has she finally been held accountable for her actions? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, stay tuned.